On this exciting mini-episode, it's Frank Lawton versus Mildred Orchid Maven Kimber. Who you got? It's a special audio edition of my Perry Mason Season 1 Defendants Tournament. Now, on the Perry Pod. Welcome, everyone. I'm your humble host, Jonathan Searcy. Before we move on to Season 4 of Perry Mason, I thought I'd finish out our Season 1 Defendants Tournament. The setup, I'd put all 40 of Season 1's Defendants into a bracket. They're facing off against each other for the crown of Season 1 champion. My criteria, pretty simple. 1, was the defendant memorable? 2, was the defendant the most compelling guest star in the case? 3, did Perry respect the defendant? And number 4, do we have any other history with this actor or actress who portrayed the defendant? You'll see how it works soon enough. I'm not ranking the episodes. My fave Season 1 episode, The Case of the Screaming Woman, but it only has a so-so defendant, Leona Walsh. I don't really care for The Case of the Fiery Fingers, but Nora Mae Quincy made it into the second round. In this mini episode, Frank Lawton is a war vet and the next Hemingway, or at least a third-tier Hemingway character. Will his murder charge help book sales? Mildred Kimber has a thriving orchid business, all orchids all the time, a debilitating heart condition, and a pretty boy husband who can't stay away from the card table. Will her murder charge be the death of her? It's a half-wakened wife meeting a silent partner. Let's see who comes out on top. Category 1, was the defendant memorable? As soon as I hear the name Frank Lawton, I conjure up an image of a man without a shirt writing a novel. Add to that image the fact this guy was friends with Perry, a D-Day vet, a widower after a freak accident took out his wife, then a defendant in a murder case. Yeah, memorable.
Remember I told you what happened to him on D-Day?
Sounds like he's still in trouble.
Dilla, Trouble is Frank Lawton's middle name.
Mildred Kimber? Oh yes, a rare, never seen in court defendant. The medical condition. The loser husband, a serious archetype in the Perry universe. The midnight call to Perry.
Kimber, Orchids Unlimited?
She says it's a personal matter.
Yes, Mrs. Kimber.
The gunshot in the apartment. She's a classic. Advantage? Push. Although I would give the slight edge to Frank's silent partner is the more memorable episode. Frank is more memorable than Mildred head to head. Category 2. Was the defendant the most compelling non-permanent character in the case? Part of the problem with Frank is that he spends his time and emotional energy on a woman who murders her husband. He wants to write a novel, but he throws away his notebook. He's a bundle of contradictions. He towers over everyone else in the episode. Scott Shelby is a run-of-the-mill schnook. His wife is pleasant in a bland sort of way, until it turns out she framed Frank. The wormy photographer and his wife, the former paramour of our murder victim, are good supporting characters, but no one's beating Frank.
If you ever get a telegram or a letter from me, you can be sure it's a phony.
How am I going to hear from you?
I'm in trouble, I'll send you a smoke signal.
As for the case of the silent partner, the title hints at Harry Marlowe, not Mildred. But you and I both know who the real standout in the episode is. That cat, of course. No, I'm just kidding. What an odd bit of character detail to give Mildred that line. I hate cats. But I kid. This episode really belongs to Lola. Lola's the murderer. She's the woman scorned. And it's Lola who dominates the denouement.
I liked Lola.
So did I.
Absolutely love that hilarious closing with Trag and Perry. Seeing will be the poison tester for the chocolates by Andre that Miss Lola sent him. Advantage, Frank wins this one. Category 3. Does Perry respect the defendant? Perry defends Frank because they're friends. Frank's been the subject of conversation with Della before. As the case ends, Perry confers with Frank, and Frank throws away his writing material. That's got to say something that Perry knows better than to try and talk Frank out of it, right? Perry isn't on a first-name basis with Mildred. He has to say to Della, "Work is unlimited," before he takes the call from her. But then he does his best by her. He leaves the medical prescription case at the murder scene, but he gets her off before she's even taken to court. He threatens Hamilton with manslaughter if she dies because of Berger's shenanigans. All of this is strong, but I can't deny that at the episode's end, Mildred never comes up. How's her health? Perry's more worried about Lola and his own health, I guess. Not eating Lola's gift. Advantage, Frank. Category 4. Do we have a prior history with the actor or actress? Stuart Bradley appeared in one more episode, The Case of the Lover's Leap. Ann Barton appeared in 3 more episodes, The Case of the Fancy Figures, The Garrulous Gambler, The Festive Felon. Advantage, Mildred. But alas, it's too little too late. Our final verdict, the judge rules Frank the winner in this contest. Congratulations, Frank. Your prize is a brand new notebook and a set of pens. Dope! I forgot you'd sworn off writing. We'll see what we can do for you in place of that gift. As for you, Mildred, a speedy recovery. And here's a tip. Seek out some local Gamblers Anonymous meetings for hubby Bob. As for the rest of you, may you keep on walking that Park Avenue Beach.